All right, hi everybody. Everybody means a couple of you. Uh, Instead of talking about a person or a phenomenon or something special, I'm going to give you a tip what to do if you want to be fluent and comfortable with the language. And let's say you don't know a word, just because it doesn't come to your mind or you forget for the time being. So let's say you forget an easy word like dog. What do? You try to do your best. Try to say the word dog without using it in a brief, short way. Okay? So, an animal with 4 legs and the man's best friend. Alright, another one, a simple one. Objects are quite easy to describe, anyway. Objects or things that you can catch, like or animals that you can see and even catch, so something visible. The next one is something that you have to open in order to get into another room or get into a house. Write it down, please. The next one is a cutlery kind. It used to be made of silver, but nowadays it's made of other materials like metals, aluminium, even plastic, and you can eat with it, usually soup. Okay, next one. It's a big mass of water, and it kind of flows from uphills to downhills into the oceans or seas. A mass of water going down. Yeah, write it down, please. The next one is when you're hot inside the room, you probably have to switch it on without cooling the air. Actually, you don't cool the air, you just ventilate it. Okay, the next one, before electricity, people used to use it for making light. Okay, and it is made of wax. The next one, all kinds of 6-legged bugs, ladybirds, cockroaches, bees, flies, hornets belong to this category. So what is this category of animals? Actually, not animals, because in the English language we don't call these animals. Primitive living beings are not animals in the English language. It's quite primitive. They've got 6 legs. I think it's rather easy. The next one, it used to be used. Okay, so it used to be used for cutting people's heads off. It was invented by a French doctor. So we were getting from very easy to not so easy ones. But these were nouns, okay? Now let's have a look at verbs. How do you describe a verb? Really simple, because you have to start with, that's what you do when you, okay? And you continue with some synonyms or whatever that comes to your mind. So the first one, that's what you do when you sleep and you think about something, but unconsciously or subconsciously. Write it down, please. The next one, that's what people do with the air and oceans. They make it kind of dirtier, okay? And yeah, I know a synonym, but I wouldn't use it because it would be too easy. So people do harms to their environment by doing it. The next one, we usually talk about it when the value of something is getting worse and worse, like money. So the currency, forint is the Hungarian currency, and unfortunately, the value of forint nowadays is doing that. The value is getting worse and worse, okay? Write it down if you know. If you don't, but you know it in Hungarian, find it in the dictionary. Next one. That's what you do with a seat belt on a plane or a car. Okay, and the last one, it's also a verb. That's what, just a moment. a very simple word just doesn't pop in my mind. Okay, so that's what a disease can do when it gets from one person to another, then from another person to another, and then within a couple of weeks, the whole populations can get the disease because the disease does this. But you can also do it with butter. Yeah, if you want to eat bread and butter, you need a knife, a slice of bread, and you have to do a certain movement with the butter. Is the same word, but an oil spill from a tanker that is sunk can also do this, getting bigger and bigger. Okay, these were some examples for verbs. Adjectives. The first one. Adjective is look like, seems like, so the question of it is how or what like. The first one is a person. It describes a person who thinks he is right all the time, even if he knows, even if he knows that he doesn't. He sticks to his right. The next one, adjective. It describes a small puppy, a small animal, a baby who makes you smile. Okay? The next one is the opposite of drunk. So when you don't drink, then you are this. It describes a not drunk person. And also someone who thinks logically. The next one is the opposite of silly or if you are doing hard, working hard at school, you become this. The next one describes a person, animal, but let's say person, who is not old enough to do something. And that's why we call him or her not too old enough. So I'm thinking of another example, but I think you could figure it out by now. I don't know, that's kind of enough. Okay. Phenomenons or process like thesis. What thesis? Oh, Reka, help me. Photosynthesis, yeah? So last time I had to figure out the word photosynthesis, and I thought of another one. This is a phenomenon which is also made up of 5 syllables, interestingly enough. Photosynthesis, 5 syllables. Ta 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 ta, 5 syllables too. And this is a complete change of a larval stage into a developed adult form. But we can use it in not only in the literal meaning, but abstract meaning. So you can use it for a person who changes completely during a short period of time. Okay, the next one is yeah, phenomenon, we can say a very general phenomenon. It has to do with the sun, and when there is sun, you can see it. When there is no sun, you can't see it. Okay. The next one. It's also a can we say that it's a phenomenon? Yes, it's a phenomenon. It has to do with the weather. It's kind of whirling wind striking unexpectedly. We cannot expect its way, so it's quite dangerous. And the faster it gets to the Earth surface, I'm sorry, the closer it gets to the surface of the Earth, the faster it spins. And in diameter, it can be about 15 meters, 20 meters, so not that great, but it travels at quite a long speed. Next one. It's not a phenomenon, it's rather a feeling, okay? So that's the feeling you've got. It's a noun, by the way. That's the feeling you got when, having learned for a very difficult exam, you finally managed and passed the exam. And that's the feeling you got. The next one is also something is quite common in the universe, a phenomenon that keeps things together. That's the reason why we do not fall off the earth. I think it was easy too. And the next one is a noun as well. It's not a phenomenon, but it's again a kind of feeling, and it's difficult to what's the word? Yeah, it's difficult to resist. So if you're on a diet and you see a birthday cake, and you know you cannot eat it because you are on a diet, so cake is not the best idea, but it's really delicious. Everybody tells you, wow, that's a delicious cake, but you just can't resist. And because you can't resist, then you will eat some. But if you are strong enough, then you can resist this. Okay, I think I was too much for today. A couple of words written down. Please send me back in about 24 hours, all right? All of you. Bye.